right. Hi, guys. How's it going? So welcome to the nutrition workshop. Today we are focusing on snacks. I know I've done a few nutrition-focused talks, and snacks seems to be like the biggest struggle that people have when they're transitioning to a healthy lifestyle or if they're wanting to lose weight. And I've been there, so I totally understand. I've been through the losing weight phase and just figuring out how to get through the day without craving or eating things that aren't necessarily that healthy for you. And now I'm kind of in that phase and have been in a while with little ones that are constantly eating. So I have to have nutritious, healthy snacks for them too. So I brought some examples. I always harp on, probably my biggest thing that I harp on the most is planning and prepping. With any healthy lifestyle change, you want to plan and prep. So, and especially if you're trying to lose weight, I do say snacking is probably the first thing that you should start taking out. Because if you find yourself snacking a lot during the day, then you're not eating as nutritious full meals. So that's where if you're snacking a lot, you need to look, okay, what are you actually eating for breakfast? What are you eating for lunch? What are you eating for dinner? I get if you're more active, whether you're exercising or if you're on your feet a lot during the day, you might need just that extra boost, but it shouldn't be 500 calorie snack, right? Like it needs to be something that's just gonna tide you over. But I mean, how many grew up where their parents or grandparents were like, don't eat that, you're going to ruin dinner. Well, so you need to look, what types of snacks are you putting in your body that are just too much? And that's a lot of that is whenever you're trying to lose weight, but with anything too. Like my girls, if I'm giving them snacks, I'm not giving them heavy snacks because that's not the purpose of it. If they're still hungry after 10, 15 minutes after lunch, well, they probably didn't eat a higher fat or something that, well, especially with kids, I mean, well, all of us, if you're finding yourself more hungry, then your fats, your good fats are probably not where they need to be, as well as your protein. Okay, so whole foods, I guess the purpose of tonight really is to give you some ideas on what you can transition as far as snacks go. If you are more of a chip person or a cookie person, those are obviously not snacks, those are treats. So trying to switch your mindset too of snacks can serve as a purpose. Treats should also be served as a purpose, but treats should not be every day because that's not a treat. Like when you're treating yourself, it's every once in a while. But the first thing that you always, and I talk about this a lot whenever we're doing workshops, look at your goals, see what your goals are. If it is to lose weight, well, figure out where do you really need to have 3 snacks a day, or can you cut it down to 2? Can you cut it down to 1? If your goal is to just maintain a healthy lifestyle, okay, well, what kind of snacks are you eating? And are they benefiting you or are they taking away from your health? So I hope tonight you'll be able to walk out the door and have a few different ideas on what you can do and different alternatives as well. I will say, obviously, and I mean, we get, most people get eating healthier sometimes can be more expensive, but doesn't have to be. You just have to figure out what's more valuable because, well, something like a bag of chips, yes, this is healthier ingredients, but this versus this, well, this is going to be more expensive than an apple. And this is going to actually give you more nutritional value in your body than this. But if you're going to a party, or my oldest daughter turns 7 on Thursday, and I'm throwing her a birthday party tomorrow, and this is what she'll be having for her birthday party. Like, and I do try, I feel like I've set a standard when it comes to my girls' birthday parties is their friends know that they're getting healthier options when they come here. Some of them have no clue that this is healthier than what they're usually getting. The other big thing I want you guys to be able to walk out tonight is knowing how to read ingredients, because that's really what it comes down to. And not looking at the nutritional facts, but looking at what's actually in it. Because nutritional facts it's pointless. Like, this isn't what's really giving you the most information when it comes to making healthier changes, healthier choices. It's what's in the ingredients, because there's a lot of hidden ingredients. There's sugar in almost everything. and I will say there's a couple things that do have organic sugar in them. But again, it's what are your goals? If you're looking to lose weight, then you should be looking at decreasing as much sugar and as much sugar as possible. And that's including the healthier sugars too, like the pure maple syrups, the honeys, the organic cane sugar. And that's, you just have to look at your goals for that. If you have any ideas or any questions, I know Dee Dee, she already brought in a recipe that she wants me to dissect to see if it's actually really healthy. Because that's the other thing too. Like, there's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of healthy magazines, healthy articles that have in these recipes, and they're like, change this and you're going to lose weight or whatever. And a lot of those are not really, like, when you start dissecting them, you'll come to find out just because a health magazine says it's healthy doesn't mean it, right? You have to actually look at what the ingredients are. So that's probably my biggest thing. And I know my husband, he's like, just go through what's in like the ingredients in any of these. If you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't eat it. Which is true. I mean, there's some things like I for the longest time could not pronounce acai, like the acai berries, but that's healthy for you. So, I mean, there's some things that have weird names. Okay, so where should I start? We'll start with this. So whenever you're looking in the produce, and when it comes to snacks, the more whole food it is, obviously the better. And there is, whenever I'm home, we only eat whole foods. So I'm not pulling out these snacks for the girls. They're getting in the fridge, and they're either having, especially with summertime, because I don't want to be bombarded every 30 minutes. I'm hungry, I want a snack. I set 3 snacks for the girls for the day. I mean, and I think that's reasonable. They get 3 meals, and they get very nutritious 3 meals, and they can have 3 snacks. And it's up to them when they have those 3 snacks. If they burn through those before lunchtime, well, too bad. You have no more snacks. You're gonna have to wait till dinner, which is fine. And my youngest, she hasn't quite figured it out, but she'll just follow my oldest. She kind of has paved the way for that. But whenever we're home, it's just whole foods. So they're getting, like, they don't do dairy, but they do goat yogurt. So I'll have goat yogurt in a little container, and I'll have applesauce that I've made in a little container, or I'll slice up some apples, or they'll have a bowl full of fruits. I'll also put cut up veggies and like hummus or guacamole, and then that's what they can have.
Where do you get goat yogurt? I've hunted for it, can't find it in here.
Goat yogurt. You can get that at Kroger. That's where I get mine. I get mine Kroger, Whole Foods. Where else do I get it?
Fresh Market doesn't have it, I've looked.
They do not. No. I get very fresh.
Is too far away.
Yeah. No.
So
I go to Kroger.
Okay.
I don't know if Publix does or not.
You said Kroger?
Kroger does, yep.
Oh,
Yep.
goat yogurt. Okay.
And I know Whole Foods does.
We just started trying cashew yogurt. We didn't know about it.
Yeah. My daughters do not like that. I tried that last week, and they're like, this isn't good. I'm like, well, okay,
Are there
we
other
tried.
nut
Yeah,
yogurts as well?
there's almond yogurt. that I've seen, coconut yogurt as well. My girls, they'll every once in a while have coconut yogurt, but they'll eat it. I mean, most of the time they'll eat. Yeah, they don't know any better. And that's where I'll also make homemade granola. And my daughter, my oldest right now, she's on a kick of making parfaits. So she'll grab some granola out of the cupboard and she'll get her yogurt and sprinkle some berries on it. And then that's a snack. And then I like that she's getting more involved, not just grabbing a snack, but actually building something. So, and a lot of times while she's at it, she'll make her sister one and she'll make her dad one. And I used to be a big snacker. I don't snack as much anymore, but it was all habit too. Like whenever I was snacking, once I started to figure out I wanted to lose weight, I had to figure out why was I snacking. So I'd have to stop myself. Okay, I'm bored. That's why I'm snacking. That is the biggest reason. And a lot of times if I'm home for an afternoon and I'm not doing anything, I'm caught up on stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm really hungry. Well, no, not really. I'm just bored. Yeah. Traveling. My mom, I remember she would always have like something crunchy, she said, to keep her awake. Yeah. And then it wasn't before whenever I was dating Randy and we were going to seminars in school, I would be packing our car up with a bunch of snacks. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, we're just gone it's a 2-hour car ride. I'm like, well, this is for our trip. He's like, but we'll be there for dinner time or we'll be there for lunch. I'm like, oh, okay. So I sure did. And guess who's eating it the most? My husband. So. But once I kind of figured that out too, I was able to stop myself and try to form new habits. So if I'm bored at home now, I mean, it's nice out. And I mean, here in South Carolina, it's always nice out. Like, it's not really that cold, even in the wintertime. If I'm bored, I'll be like, okay, girls, let's go for a walk. Get your bikes. Or I'll tackle something I've been putting off, whether it's cleaning or laundry but it's just transitioning that natural habit that we've already formed. I'm bored, I'm going to eat. I'm bored, okay, now I'm going to drink water first. And that's what I always do even before a meal. If I'm hungry, I'm drinking water first, waiting 10, 15 minutes. If I'm still hungry, then I'll have something to eat. And it's just forming those, like it took me a while to get those habits into play. And then now I find that I'm not snacking anymore. And if I do notice, if I do start snacking more, I notice my weight and my clothes don't feel like they should. So then I'm like, I know why. And that's probably the biggest culprit. If I notice if my clothes are a little bit snug, I know I've been snacking more. So then I have to figure out where that's creeping in, because it creeps in, like it really does. You don't know you're doing it until you see the results. And dang it, sometimes it's hard to get that habit out and get back to where you were. But it's worth it, because then you feel better once you figure it out. And I'm not saying I don't ever treat myself. Of course I do. I'm human. And it's not like it's always pure, no sugar thing. My birthday is coming up on Monday, and you better believe I'm having something. That's right. But I do try to limit even my treats, or not necessarily limit, because I don't want to be a psychological problem. Because once you start saying, no, I'm depriving, well, you're not going to stick with it either. So it has to be more of, and it's not kind of even saying a treat. It's like, well, then you're kind of treating the behavior of it. Like, oh, I've been eating really healthy, I'm going to treat myself. Well, when you make a healthy lifestyle part of your life, treating with bad things isn't really, it's conflicting, right? So it's a habit that you have. I'm still every once in a while, I'm just like, Mom, I don't care. I'm just instead of making it a treat, I go into it be like, I know I'm going to feel horrible after I eat this. So this is just me, I don't know, just being horrible to myself. I don't know how to put it. 80-20. 80-20. Yeah. 80-20. That's what it is. I think with anything in life, it's not just nutrition. 80-20 with everything. You can eat healthy and still gain weight. Like you can have pure healthy foods all the time. You can still gain weight. So it's figuring out the balance of it.
Or maybe have the quantity real,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like
Portion size.
Yep. Portion size, and that's the thing with losing weight, it really does come down to portion size. Because whenever I was transitioning, before my husband and I got married, we went to a counselor, and like a premarital counselor, and she was saying, because when we were dating, we were in chiropractic school, we wanted to live the healthier lifestyle, and it started to get where I was eating the healthy lifestyle, but still not losing weight or whatever. And I was getting ready to get married. I wanted to lose some weight. Wanted to go into the marriage right at the top. And then my husband was complaining, like, I can't finish my meals. There's too much on my plate. Because I was going into like, okay, our marriage counselor was saying he eats this much. Women naturally should eat a smaller portion. So I was making his portion really big so I could. So I was like, all right, I get it. So once I figured out Randy wasn't eating his whole plate, I was like, maybe that is too much. Because he can eat a lot, but if he couldn't eat all that was there, then I had to be like, shoot, that means I have to decrease mine. But yes, when it comes to losing weight, it comes to portion sizes and it really comes to snacks. But that's all I'm going to talk about with that. So we know if you want to lose weight, you need to decrease the snacking. And that's up to you, whether it's taking it from 3 times a day to twice a day to once a day and eventually no snacks. But today's purpose is to give you options on what you can snack. And like I said, whole foods is always the best. Apple, banana. When you're home, try and stick to non-packaged foods because you're home. If you're home, you have that ability to prep some things. But I also say actually plan for snacks. And a lot of times I always, when I go grocery shopping, after I'm done, I throw everything in my sink, I soak it, and then I chop all my vegetables, and I put my fruits in different containers, like in their own glass containers, so it's easily accessible. But if I know it's going to be a busy week, or if I know we're going to have some company and there's going to be different foods that I don't normally eat, I want to make sure I have snacks. So I'll put something together. So I'll already put like a bunch of berries in a glass jar. So all I have to do, pull those out. My girls, they'll pull those out and it's already ready. I'll chop up some vegetables. Like I'll put, 2 carrots, some celery, and some peppers together so I don't have to pull out every container that they're in. It's already prepped. It's already ready to just pull out, grab a dip, and that's the other thing, dips. Guacamole, hummus, ranch dressing. I have in my cookbook a ranch dressing recipe. I make a double batch every week, and it is gone by the end of the week. But my family loves it. So, and that's, having dips, especially with vegetables, because a lot of people, do I really have to eat a raw carrot? Well, raw is the best. Let's just throw some dip on that so you can get it down. But that's, when you're home, really try and commit to eating whole foods. A handful of nuts, things like that. You can make your own granola. You can make your own trail mix. It's just And going through whenever I'm planning for my week, planning all the meals, I'm planning for snacks too. So if I want to throw in just already pre-packed or pre-made trail mix, then I'll just throw all the nuts and cranberries and raisins or whatever in a container, and then all we have to do is just pull it out. And that's also a good travel snack too, because you can have that in a baggie. You don't have to think about it.
The more you snack with the whole foods, I think our taste buds kind of get adapt to it.
Oh yeah.
It's a better flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other day, well, actually yesterday, I like English cucumbers. I like them better than the regular cucumbers.
Yep.
It's so crisp, and so I said this could be a snack.
Yep.
And I was like, I was chopping them all up. And
That's
I
right.
started snacking them.
That's right.
I was making a sandwich. I'm like, these are really, really good. And years ago, when I was talking about it.
I know. I was like that with peppers. Like I didn't like raw peppers, but then I started just having them more, or every once in a while you don't really get a good pepper. But sometimes you do. Sometimes you get like a nice crisp pepper. I'm like, oh, I used to not eat peppers at all. Oh yeah, like the sweet peppers. Yeah.
Banana peppers are delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't have as much seeds in them either, so you don't have to like really cut them as much. Okay, so let's go through some of my snacks. So I do like these, and these are more expensive, so I don't buy these often. Costco does sell a big bag of these for $6. So when I'm at Costco, which I don't go as often, these you can get Kroger, Fresh Market, but not a big bag. I forget. Yeah, Fresh Market has these. Publix has it. A lot more places have these. But I forget how much this one. Like smaller bags are like $4 or $5, probably $5. You might as well just go to Costco and get a big one. Yeah. That's why it was very painful getting these, but I just did not want to go to Costco. Okay, so these ingredients. So again, I'm not looking at the box. I'm looking at the ingredients. Cassava flour, which is a root flour, which is it's from the yucca root, or I mean it's a yucca. I don't know. See, again, I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, it could be yucca. That's right. I like it. So it's cassava flour, avocado oil, coconut flour, chia seed, and sea salt. That's it. That's it. And I mean, that's all it should be. Really.
No corn in it.
There's no corn and there's no bad oils. And that's the thing. There are a lot of bad oils. Anyone know the top worst oil?
Canola.
Yes. It is genetically modified. It's not even a canola plant. It comes from a rapeseed plant. And it's just highly, highly processed. It's very, very bad. So it's going to cause a lot of inflammation into your body. So these are Siete chips, and they have all kinds of products. Like they've got wraps, like tortilla wraps. They have taco shells. They have dips, like dairy-free cheese dips. They've got,
So all of their products are healthy? Organic or
Yep.
whatever?
Yep. I think one of the things, they've got like a sweeter, like the churro, like cinnamon type product. I don't know what they use for the sweetener for that. I haven't looked because I've never tried it. Not even going to. Probably will love it too much and it'll just end up in my house. So that's the other thing with eating healthier. Just don't put it in your house. Like don't put like bad things in your house.
I can't. If I do, I eat it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I was probably at my worst decision-making time in my life. If I got things I knew were bad, I would feel so bad for bringing it into my house. I would just eat it all at the same time. I'm like, all right, so tomorrow I won't have it, but today I'm just going to eat it all. Yeah, this brand, majority, I guess I don't know 100%, but say 98% of all their products are healthy for you, or a healthier option. Their wraps or their tortilla wraps are usually in the freezer sections. Those are chips. Trying to think what other chips that we use. Well, okay. These are hip peas. These are so good. Again, Costco sells a big bag of these for $6. Anytime, I try and coordinate my Costco trips to, like if I'm gonna have a get together or there's a birthday party, like, okay, I'll grab these big bags. Hip peas. Chickpea snacks. And this is vegan white cheddar. So it's always, my girls they're dairy free, which I am too. So a lot of times they miss out on that whole cheese puff type thing that all their friends are eating. But these aren't necessarily the healthiest. There's a couple oils in here that I aren't a big fan of, but it's still a better option if we're out traveling. I'll throw these in there if I have them. But again, it's chickpea flour, rice flour, sunflower oil, which I'm not the biggest fan of, tapioca, brown rice flour, salt. There is organic cane sugar in it, and then seasoning and organic canola oil. So canola oil and sunflower oil, not a huge fan of, but again, it's also not loaded with a ton of ingredients, and it's still a better option. People, whenever I have these at my house for parties or whatnot, these are the first things that go. They really are good. But again, I don't like having them in my house because they will be eaten fast. I wish I had, I don't have the, Costco sells these in packs. It's just grass-fed beef sticks. So it's 100% grass-fed. And with these, it's just this, there's only bad oils, it's just a seasoning.
What's the brand of that?
I don't remember.
She just grabbed it.
I just grabbed it out of my pantry.
They sell those with cheese at most grocery stores.
Yeah,
The cheese
yeah.
and those beef sticks.
yeah, but you're probably not going to find these with all those. You're going to find these more in the, just
The
a,
protein bar section, probably.
maybe.
Because in the protein bar,
You
they
get yours
sell.
at Costco?
I do get mine at Costco, and I get it where all the snacks,
Right.
like towards the front.
They have the organic beef chunks of beef jerky.
Yeah, yeah.
Non-GMO.
Yep.
Organic, I get those for my husband, but.
Has anyone, I know I've talked about this a lot, but Thrive Market online. It's like an online health, like it's non-preservatives. No, preservatives. Preservatives?
It's called Thrive Market.
Thrive Market. So things that you put in your pantry, snacks, cooking things that aren't going to go bad. What is that? Why am I blanking on that? Anyway, so they also have these, and it's a lot cheaper, like than what you're going to find at Whole Foods, what you're going to find even at the grocery store, because it's more. That's what they focus on, and they have their own brand too. Which has anyone heard of Simple Mills? So Simple Mills, they became pretty popular with like icing and cake mix. They also have like pizza dough mix, muffin mix, things like that. But Thrive Market has their own, and theirs is like maybe 75 cents cheaper. So that's what this is. I just made my daughter's cakes for her birthday. So, and normally I would hand make them. I wouldn't grab a mix. I have a cookbook, for crying out loud. I shouldn't be grabbing mixes all the time.
You are allowed.
But dang it, every once in a while, I just don't want to figure it out and just dump everything in one bowl. So that's what I did for tomorrow's party. So this ingredients, you're looking at almond flour, organic coconut sugar, cacao powder, arrowroot powder, coconut flour, baking soda, and sea salt. That's it.
Are they good?
They are. They're very good. All the kids, yes, I did make I did make cupcakes out of these, and the times I've used this, even her friends have eaten them. So I always look to see. They don't.
It's chocolate.
That's right. And when it comes to kids' birthday parties too, I'm making small cupcakes because, I mean, they don't need that. They don't need the big thing, and half of them may not even like it. So I'm like, I'm not wasting all this on you. You add eggs. I added eggs and water, vanilla, and I put avocado oil. It says you can put vegetable oil and coconut oil, but I use avocado oil. Avocado oil doesn't have like a potent flavor like olive oil does. So I use that a lot with my avocado oil. Mm-hmm.
So somebody that would be allergic to tree nuts.
They probably.
Avocado oil.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I never thought about coconut. It's a tree.
I know.
I learned a lot this weekend at my friend's house.
Nice. It's good.
So is that the frosting you put?
This will be the frosting that I put on. Again, I should be making my own frosting. But I work in the morning and I poorly planned. Poorly planned. I know. Should I just justify? Oh, you guys are so great. Thank you. Oh, that's 80-20, 80-20. So here's the ingredients. Organic palm shortening, organic powdered sugar, so it does have sugar in it. Coconut oil, tapioca, which is like allowing it to thicken a little bit and spread a little bit more. Vanilla, rosemary extract, sea salt, and monk fruit extract. So,
I mean, do you like frosty taste?
I do. Yep. It's not. No. So like for tomorrow, like again, I'm not slathering the cupcakes with this, but she wanted strawberry icing,
Put strawberry on top.
which I'm going to. But I would, like normally, I probably did this last year. I used this frosting and then just put a bunch of strawberries in it and then mixed it together, and she was fine with that. But tomorrow she's okay with just frosting and then just putting strawberries throughout. I'm like, oh, you're the best. And I did give her the option. I was really hoping she would go with just putting strawberries on. So that's alternative or options for like baking things. But Simple Mills, they do have really good just boxed, pre-made baking things. But their prices are usually, I'd say most of their box things are $5.99. And it really isn't. You can, yeah.
Costco carries all of it.
Costco does not. They carry the Simple Mills crackers in a big box. But they don't carry like the cake mixes and things like that. Kroger does. These came from the online Thrive Market. But the Simple Mills, you can get Kroger, Publix. I think Fresh Market does have those as well, but Fresh Market does not have, or Kroger, they don't have the Simple Mills icing. They used to, but they don't. So I had to go to Whole Foods to get that. Yep. Okay, what else? Because I want to make some stuff before you guys leave. And you've been here before with me, I tend to go over, so I'm trying not to. For my girls, for their school snacks, this is what I've always said, like every day, this is what they get sent with them. This is called Made Good granola bites. They also have granola bars. It does have sugar in it, which, I mean, again, 80-20. But it's gluten-free oats, it's cane sugar, sunflower oil, which agave syrup, but I'm looking over that one. Yeah. apple pieces, currants, brown rice crisps, cranberries, apple juice, freeze-dried raspberries, tapioca, which is going to help keep it together. And then vegetables include spinach, broccoli, carrots, tomatoes, beets, shiitake, mushrooms, brown rice syrup. And they devour these. Like, they love these. But it's nice because it's peanut-free, tree nut-free, soy-free, dairy-free, egg-free, all those allergens that are common in schools. Because that was the hardest thing for me, is figuring out what can I send my girls that are nut-free. Because a lot of the things that I make have nuts in them. But these do not. So they usually get 2 options. This one has chocolate chips in it, which they're always going for this one. But I have to throw this one in every once in a while. So they get this with a fruit bar, which this is Pure. I think the company is Pure. But I get these at Costco as well. They have, I think it's a pack of 28 of these. So I don't have to, I mean, these, I think that's $11 at Costco. So it's very much worth when I go to Costco, I'm usually getting 3 boxes, so I don't have to keep going. But this is the ingredients for these, which if it's a fruit bar, it should just have fruit in it, right? Like, it shouldn't have all that other preservatives. So you're looking at apple puree, apple juice, passion fruit juice, pineapple juice, lemon juice, vegetable and fruit juice, carrot, blueberry, and that's just for like the color of it. I don't know. I mean, it's very sugary. Like, it is sugary. If we're home, they're not getting these, and they know that. They're not getting the packaged things. They're getting actual fruit. And when we're traveling, again, I'll have like an orange, I'll throw in my purse, or an apple. Not this one, this is a huge apple. But I'll try and throw fresh fruit or vegetables in there. But if we're going to the zoo, or I don't want to be I'd rather carry around something light for them to eat.
Is it true about the apples that you should get organic apples if you can?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the pesticides.
Yep.
That's the fruit, that's a big must.
Apples and strawberries are way up there in the,
Pesticides.
So if
Yeah.
you don't get the organic, you have to wash them real good,
yep,
rinse them off, or
soak them in vinegar. Anything that's not organic,
vinegar, or
yep, I use apple cider vinegar. I'll fill up my sink with it and put a cup of apple cider vinegar in it. Because I do notice between white vinegar and apple cider vinegar, I don't have any of that leftover taste with the apple cider vinegar. Yeah, and I soak it for like a good 30 minutes too.
Oh,
When
really?
they sell
Yep.
apple cider vinegar,
Do you
it's not the particular brand, but they have it organic at
Yeah.
Costco.
Oh yeah.
You put like a half a cup or a couple tablespoons.
We just bought a lot of apples.
Oh, did you?
We're getting
Like a lot of apples,
Well,
fill up your sink, put half a cup of vinegar in it. Yep.
we're
You want to smell it. Like, you want to smell the vinegar.
we got
Yeah. So that's what they get in their lunch or their snacks. And I don't buy these a lot because I just have nightmares of like mold being inside of it.
I saw something on the
Probably.
media.
Probably.
They cut it open and it was full of mold.
Yeah. So I really,
You have to look at the date.
not even. It's just, so I've got actual like refillable apple or pouches that back when the girls were just transitioning into solid foods. I've kept those, and I would rather buy a jar of applesauce than these little pouches. And
Because you can see in it.
yeah.
You can
Yeah.
tell that it's-
But this you can't see. But again, if we're traveling and I'm going into a grocery store or I didn't pack enough snacks, I'll grab some of these. But this, again, organic apple puree and lemon juice. That's all. So it's the ingredients that I'm looking at. And it's amazing the amount of preservatives and additives and sugars that are in a ton of these things that my heart really does break when I see a lot of these kids coming with snacks or whatnot, and I'm like, please don't get goldfish.
Kindergarten with a can of Coke for lunch.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Well, yeah, you've been through that.
I would just shake my head.
Yeah.
And we weren't big on healthy, but I mean, I at least said
Yeah.
apple juice
Yeah.
or.
Yeah. I don't know. And a lot of it's just, and I feel like, I mean, parents know, but they don't know. Like, I don't think people have exposed them enough. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question. A lot of this junk food, you know, like I hear more and more people, oh, my allergies this, or I have allergies, and actually it was my future daughter-in-law who, she couldn't eat anything because she was always allergic. Do you think that junk food, by eating unhealthy, causes
Oh, yeah.
these allergies?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, even the sugar alone in a lot of this food is going to cause major inflammation throughout your body. It's not just like when people think of eating, you're thinking, well, okay, it's my digestive system that's going to be affected the most. But that's not true. Like your cells are everywhere. Like your cells make up everything. So, and what you're putting in your body, on your body, is going to affect all of your organs. So like with asthma, with different allergies, of course, like if you put so many inflammatory foods, and you're going to notice major symptoms. And don't even get me started on the numbers that people are eating. Like, I don't want to eat a number. I don't want to eat yellow 40. Like, I want to eat a food, not a number.
Yeah, that, the dye or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
in the food.
And it's funny, the first time, I mean, we're used to it with our kids, but last year for my daughter's preschool, there was because they always say, these are the allergies in the classroom, can you please be mindful of that? And there was on there like yellow 40 or red 20 or something. I'm like, finally, we're noticing that these dyes are nothing to mess with. So, which I was like, oh, great. Her class is going to be so healthy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay, so those are some snacks. What else? I'm going to show you what I make usually and stuff my freezer full of it. Yeah.
The grass-fed whey protein.
Yes.
And plant-based, what's the difference? I mean,
It's just people that
you get a better taste out of that than the plant?
I think so.
Okay.
I think
Because
so.
the plant, it got, I don't know, it's just a little bitter taste.
Yeah.
It's okay,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah.
Isn't that dairy though?
This is dairy. Like technically this is dairy. So people that maybe have high sensitivity to it could be affected by it, but my girls do not. Like they have no problem having this. And I put this in their smoothies every other day. So, and they don't have any issue whatsoever with it.
The plant-based one doesn't taste that bad. I have that.
Do you? See, I haven't tried it in so long that, yeah.
I don't taste the difference. I prefer the plant-based because of the way.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. I mean, but the other thing, even with protein, you've got to read the ingredients. Like, there's sucralose, which is aspartame, which is very bad in a lot of these different proteins. But I mean, with this one, and we've been using this for years. It's organic cocoa, natural chocolate flavor, vanilla flavors, and stevia. Like it's sweetened with stevia. And that's what, I mean, some people, like my oldest sister, she can't do stevia. So she struggles with different proteins. And I'm like, well, don't even bother with the protein. Put nut butter in it. Like put something else that is higher in protein. All right. Let's make, any other questions? Let's hear it.
When you make your smoothie or your smoothie, we tend to put a bunch of fruits and vegetables in there. Do you need a portion size of fruit and vegetables? I mean,
I mean, for
I
weight
put
loss?
a bunch of it, and you know, my wife said, "Oh, that don't taste good." You know?
Yes, there needs to be a balance. There should, really when it comes to smoothies,
Then I put stevia in there.
Yeah.
And then,
oh yeah, no, I wouldn't put stevia in it. No, don't put stevia in it. Unless it's like the pure plant. If it's the plant stevia, like a leaf, then sure, throw a leaf in there. But yeah, I wouldn't do the sweetener. And I wish I had like all the stuff that I normally put in with my smoothie, but let me go grab my berries. I don't have ice though.
What are those chia seeds and chia seeds?
Oh yeah, yep. I used to put, yep. Like this is my basic triple berries. Yep. So I put berries in there. We're gonna go ahead and throw banana in here. And this is my basic. I'll add like spinach or kale, chia seeds. What else did I put in there? Flaxseed. Yeah.
You don't taste it, but it's just good.
What do you guys want to try? The chocolate or the vanilla?
What's better? What do you like better?
Everybody likes chocolate.
Everyone likes chocolate. We'll do chocolate. I also, a lot of times I'll put like a green powder in there as well. Oh man.
What's the green powder?
Like,
Veggies.
yeah, yep. Well, this is why my blender is always a mess. I was gonna try and keep this tablecloth clean so I didn't have to go clean it. What else do I usually put in here? I don't know, what's some ideas?
I usually add like
Avocado. I'll put an avocado in there because it'll put creamy. I do not. No. I usually do almond milk. I do almond milk as well. Or coconut milk, yep. Like, so this isn't gonna taste quite as dense or sweet as it normally would because I just, no, I don't. Keep giving me ideas though, because I'll use these ideas. I would put flaxseed in it. I'll put flaxseed. Yep. I'll do that. Sometimes I'll put oats in there if I'm making it for the girls. Okay. Let's start this. I did. Yep. 1.5. But if I'm just making it for like me and, well, again, I don't really have much smoothie.
Would you consider this to be like a lunch?
Lunch or breakfast?
Yeah. Like for me, it would be like a breakfast. Look at that. Almost just perfect 8 portioned. When school was still in, I would make, this would be like my girls' like afternoon snack. I would make a smoothie and then we would go pick up my daughter And then she just got used to that. That was like her thing. Her after school snack. And I mean, this is very, very basic. So there's so much you can put in there, but yes, Robert, it has to be, you have to have like you can't really put more vegetables in there. Yeah.
Because I made a bunch and it's not as good as having it left over. I like it.
Yeah.
We have some left over.
Yes.
Put it in the refrigerator and everything like floats to the top.
Yeah.
And you got the liquid at the
Yep.
bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, mix it back up. You have to shake it up a little bit. Yep. Yes, what I usually, it's funny because whenever I'm making the smoothie for the girls for their after school snack, if there's any left over, I've got popsicle molds. I'll just put those in. And then that's what they'll go in the freezer and they'll pick those up. Yep. And that's one of the other things too. Like put in ice cube trays. I know, who has ice cube trays these days? Yeah, I know. That's another thing. Yeah, and that's what we do. Yeah. You gotta put the frozen thing on the bottom.
Was the collagen to go in your smoothie?
It was not. I didn't put it in, but I would have. I should have put that in there. Yeah, I'll put. I know. Yeah, like the almond milk or oat milk or yeah. So I usually make a smoothie once a day probably. If I don't, there's probably smoothie popsicles that the girls will eat. They also, like for a treat or dessert, I'll put frozen bananas and then I'll melt chocolate and then like put the frozen banana in the chocolate and put that in the freezer. So we call those in our house monkey snacks. So, which I got that from when we lived in Canada. There was just one of those side little street vendors that sold things like that, and that's what we remember. Okay, so now I make my energy balls. So these I make every week. I usually double batch it and then freeze them.
That's in your book. It's called.
I don't think it is.
I think that looked all over.
Yeah, I don't think it is. And even the one that I did back on Facebook Live is a different one than this.
So the one in there,
Mm-mm.
it's not in there.
No. So this is a new one. So this is a cup of oats. Now, oat is still a grain, but again, in moderation. Like, yeah, a cup of oats. And then you've got a fourth a cup of honey. I have a patient that has bees, so this is from his beehive.
A quarter cup of honey?
Yes. Looks like a quarter cup. And then I usually use almond butter, but I didn't have almond butter and I forgot about this one. And I like this one because it has almonds, coconuts, Brazil nuts, pecans, macadamia nuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, and sea salt. Yeah. So this is Nutzo. That's the brand. N-U-T-T-Z-O. Nutzo. This I think I got at Kroger. Every once in a while, Costco will have like a big jar of this.
It's called Nutso butter.
And how
Yep.
much do you put in there between Costco
Half a cup.
and Sam's? Costco has all half a cup.
I know. I've got to get on.
We don't go to
Actually,
Costco.
I know. I'm right by Sam's, so I wish Sam's would just carry more. But Sam's is like a restaurant thing. Half a cup of almond or nut butter. I do like this because It has so many different nuts in it. Yeah.
Thank you. I just eat the spoon.
That's like half a cup, right?
Eat it from the jar.
We'll see.
Can you put it in your smoothie, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. Not so butter.
Other than the dry market.
It is not. No, you can get it at Kroger. Yeah. I do a lot of my shopping at Kroger.
I love programs.
I do too.
John will order tomorrow after he moved across town.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Kroger every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. A third a cup of dried berries. So I have raisins, but a lot of times I'll put dried cranberries. Third a cup. I put raisins, yeah, or cranberries. I would say raisins or cranberries. And then a third a cup of, I do chocolate chips. But these are like they say it's the dairy free.
I'm so into looking at
Yeah.
what you're doing, I'm not writing it down.
I mean, kind of whatever. This brand, I don't know what. Usually it's semi-sweet. So there is a difference from, oh yeah, this is dairy free. That's why I get it. So Enjoy Life is a good brand. Lily's chocolate is also a good brand. I know. I mean, if you look, and that's the thing, like there's three ingredients: cane sugar, unsweetened chocolate, and cocoa butter. Like a lot of like the Hershey chocolate chips, a lot of sugar, a lot of additives. So I'll usually do a third a cup of these. I'm eyeballing it. Sometimes it's a little less. Depends if the girls are helping me make this, then it's probably a little bit. Actually, no. They'll pour out the third cup, and then they take a handful for them to eat while we're mixing this. Yeah. And then that's it. That's it. And then you just mix it. Yeah, I would refrigerate it. Yeah, no, I would keep these in the fridge or freezer. But like I said, like I double batch this, and it depends. A lot of times by the end of the week, they're all gone. But
Can you put it in the tray and flatten it out and then
Yep.
and later on cut it?
Yep. It's probably a little bit more crumbly. But yeah, for the most part, you can do that. I haven't cooked this before yet, but I have made my own granola bars where I've cooked it with pretty much the same ingredients. So
you put roll those in ball.
I do. Normally I would put this in the fridge to roll it, like to keep it together. But I want you guys to try it, so I got little cups here. Just a little bit of prep work, and yeah, I mean my girl, sometimes they'll get tired of it because I make it a lot, but for the most part they're, and even with this, like I do, like I know I tell them anything that's, I try to stick to whole foods when we're home, but this is one that I'll put like in their lunch or something. But if you find you're eating a meal and then you're an hour or 2 hours later, you're hungry again, then you're probably eating something higher in sugar. So your body is burning more sugar quicker, and it's not like satiating you enough. So
Craving is sweet, like a dessert right now.
The more sugar you eat, the more you crave it.
Yep.
And bread too.
oh yeah.
Sugar.
Yep. So that's where I would recommend something higher in protein. These are really crumbly. I'll let you guys roll them in a bowl.
So when you mix it, you usually put it in the fridge, let it.
Well, no, I lie. I will roll these into a ball and then put them in the fridge. Yeah. I don't have time to wait for them to. But they're probably easier to work with if you put the whole thing in the fridge. Mm-hmm. That's right.
You're providing dinner.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Oh, I was going to put a little bit of the vanilla protein in that. Shoot. Yeah. So, and that's, sometimes I'll do that too. I'll put some vanilla protein. I won't put chocolate protein in it because I already have chocolate chips in there.
So how much of the vanilla protein?
Not much. Maybe
Quarter cup?
not even that much. I would probably do 2 to 3 tablespoons of the protein.
How many of these do we eat?
Oh, I used to have it measured out, like the breakdown of it.
What kind of chocolate you put in there again?
The chocolate chips, it's the semi-sweet Enjoy Life brand.
Oh, okay.
Yep, this is the brand we usually use
At Kroger?
because it's dairy-free. Yep, yep. I think Kroger actually has a dairy-free, cheaper, like a dairy-free one that's organic. 2 to 3 tablespoons. Yep.
So you could actually put flaxseed in it too, right?
Oh yeah, like again, like this is a base too. You can, but if you're gonna put more in it, then you need to put like a little bit more honey or nut butter in it, just to keep it together. Yeah. Tablespoon. Yep. So again, if you're looking to monitor more, anybody track like what they eat? I recommend doing it. If you're losing weight, even if you're not and you're feeling like some sort of symptoms, or if you're wanting to gain more muscle or something like that, I still would recommend tracking what you're eating, like putting everything down that is going in your mouth. Because once I started doing that, I saw the breakdown of it, like the macros, like with the fat, the protein, and the carbohydrates. Like for me, I should be like based on my goal, based on my age, based on where my weight is now, like I should be maintaining like 20% protein, 50% carbs, and then 30% of fats.
Is there an app that you?
There is. What I use is MyFitnessPal.
I use it too.
Love it.
MyFitnessPal?
Yep. I've been using that for years. And I've, like, a lot of times I'll put in there, like, ingredient or my meals and or my recipes. Sometimes I don't want to put too much because it can be very.
I calorie count, but
Yep.
I don't read the ingredients.
Right.
So that,
Yep.
and you wonder
Yep.
why you know.
You have to read the ingredients because if there's just too many preservatives in there, yep.
The calorie part, you know, the
Yeah.
cholesterols, carbohydrates, and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I never read the ingredients, so.
Yep. That's something, it's just becoming a habit and just doing it over and over again. But the ingredients part is so much more important than the calories and the box part. Yep.
Does that tell you calories, translate to calories, or what is
Yep.
that actually telling you?
Like the breakdown, or like what this?
I mean, what are you tracking?
Oh, yeah, I use it more for my macros. So, and especially if I'm going through a phase where I want to be, I mean, I feel like I'm always in this phase. Most women are. We want to be leaner, right? So I have to look at, I'm probably going to want to be higher on the protein side of it and a lot lower on the fatter side of it. But it's still, like, I don't want to be where I'm 30% or 40% protein and then 20% fat, like that's not a good balance either. Like you should still stay within like the parameters of what they break it down for your age, for where you're at, what your goals are. But it also has like a goal. If you want to be a certain weight, it'll say how many calories you should be taking in. And what I don't like, I always tiptoe around the calorie counting because that's not a good parameter of gauging where your health is. Like obviously, which I guess it wasn't obvious for me, but when I was first starting out, we were taught not to look at the calories. We were taught to look at the ingredients, the quality of what you're putting in, which I think is very important at the very beginning. But once you start getting to that where you're maintaining or you might hit a plateau, then you might want to look a little bit at the calories, because calorie in, calorie out, like there is science behind that. But maintaining that too, because you can lose a ton of weight by only eating 500 calories a day. But that's not feasible, and that's not long-term. Like that's very unhealthy long-term. And I do think women should be around the 1,500 to 2,000 calories. But kind of depends on what your goals are. But to maintain, I think that's, and it also depends on your lifestyle. Like if you're sedentary, then you're going to need less calories because you're not working out, right? So, but that's another workshop where we'll talk about exercise. Yeah. Which I've noticed. Which is like, oh, wait, I used to be able to eat a lot more. Oh, shoot. No. That's why it's nice to get this down now. So when I'm 70, I have a better idea of what to do.
You'll put that 5 pounds a year
That's
on,
right.
I think, after
Yeah.
a certain age.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me?